Okay, I got 6:30 on my clock, bring the meeting to order. First up, modifications and changes to the agenda. No modifications or changes, we'll move on to public comment. Nobody's here from the public tonight, right?
No.
Okay, review and approval for the minutes January 23rd, 2024.
Sounded fine to me. Or
Okay.
read it fine to me.
If nobody found any errors, I'll hear a motion to approve.
Move.
Second.
Eli the first, Andy the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, Franklin Foods allocation request.
Aye. If you want to keep moving down the list, I told Sean we start at 6:30. He'd probably be closer to 6:40.
Okay.
So Sean, for purpose energy, may hop on to discuss, or just in case we have any questions on what we came up with. So I'll give him a couple minutes to move on.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's move on to discussion for our next trustees meeting time as it coincides with the annual school board meeting.
So we just got approached with a couple people. Asked if we could change them.
I'll admit it, I asked.
If we just could move the meet or look at the time, because I guess it's the same time as the school board's annual meeting. But that's at 6.
6 in Berkshire.
6 in Berkshire. This is 7:30 or 6:30. Obviously is.
School board meeting starts at 6?
Yes.
Is it the ER budget meeting, or
It's the full board budget meeting for the northern, what are we, northern?
That's probably gonna
so?
last for a while.
So it's the NMB board.
It-
Okay, that's why I didn't pay attention to the date because I was like,
It's hit or miss.
Yeah.
I've been to them and bet on them and they're over in half an hour and then I have a feeling this one's gonna go a little bit longer.
I
But
wouldn't
even
be
if I,
surprised.
so it's a school board meeting for the NMB schools,
It's the
though,
budget.
correct? But
it's their usual budget meeting.
and then the Enosburg Richford budget meetings, different dates.
different date and time.
I don't know if that matters to us in terms of making changes.
Well, it does for residents of Sheldon, Berkshire, Montgomery, Bakersfield that want to go to the meeting at 6 o'clock, same night as our trustee meeting, which is me.
Right, it's you, but it's
It's one
not.
of those
It's not other people.
It's not the end of the world if I miss it.
No residents from Enosburg would be attending this meeting from the village.
Correct,
I'm
because
trying to
Maybe
find.
we're not-
I'm finding
there
it
will
right
be
now.
one for Enosburg and there will be 2 for Enosburg and Richford on
Is
different
that
dates.
Enosburg Elementary? Is that separate from?
Yeah, because there's because they have the budget for so we have 2 school districts in the supervisory union. Each school district has their own budget hearing.
Okay, I always forget that it loops up. So no, to answer your question, theirs is Monday night. So, like I said, it's just me being whiny because I can.
So if you want to start.
Sorry, Abby.
It's fine. I think they usually.
Want some
well,
cheese to go with that wine?
they're supposed to record it. They did not last year.
Well, you can go to it. We can just start with
Yeah,
that.
I mean, we
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, I might do that and then
We can-
maybe pop back at 7.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's
Thanks.
see. Very likely it'll be quick. Or not.
I
If
was
there's
gonna
a lot of
push
hours
hours.
There's
the
actually
time.
there's a lot of big stuff happening in education funds right now that might make some of these budget
There's
meetings
so
really long.
much information and I think misunderstanding of what's going on that I have a feeling it's not going to be a quick meeting.
It's very, very hard, and even when they were writing stuff to give out, the state was still working on things and things were shifting.
Yeah, and they just said yesterday they were gonna kind of go back to the drawing board and maybe start
Or did they?
over.
I didn't hear.
I don't
but
know if they actually did or not, but
I
they
know
were
they
talking
were
about it.
encouraging a lot of municipalities to hold off on holding the school vote because legislature's trying to figure something out and that was being misconstrued that like town meeting day was going to get pushed off. So there's a lot of false information going around.
I had heard it that maybe town meeting day would. I've
When
heard it
it's-
stated that town meeting day might change for communities
It's
that
just
needed
the
to review
education
their
side.
budget.
Just
Okay.
for the school.
That makes more
vote.
sense, but yeah.
That's what they said on the Leagues of Cities and Town calls. There's a lot of issues right now because there's so much misinformation going around that could affect town meetings.
Yes.
But anyway, that's my soapbox.
I'm
there.
confident about our budgets.
Okay, sign off and final design loan agreement, Church Street.
So what we're gonna do here is this seems like me and Abby, or I'll take most of the blame. Struggle explaining this to you folks. Jason has been willing to come up for a meeting. He'll explain, so the Church Street one is one we missed, when we were doing Church Street. So this has to be signed off on through the state. So this is part of Church Street, final design for Church Street. Jason's gonna explain tonight, which is the same concept as this one. We're starting off Elm Street. So this is the drinking water, and then the revolving fund. So I'll let Jason take it away.
Yep.
Explain this process.
Thanks. So my name is Jason Booth with Aldrich and Elliott. What John's referring to is an application for the Drinking Water State Revolving Loan Fund.
That'd be this one.
That would be, yes, is that this one?
Yeah.
It's not in color.
I'm sorry, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, very next.
And this is obviously an application for funding for Elm Street. Similar to the funding you received for Church Street in some respects. That was clean water, this is drinking water. There is clean water aspect to the Elm Street project. However, that's being covered largely by CSO ARPA funds, which the village already has. Similar funding that's being used for Church Street. The portion of Elm Street that's not funded with CSO ARPA money through the clean water is the drinking water side. That's the water line that's being put in that's going up sort of the westerly side, starting at Orchard all the way up to Water Tower Hill. So this application is sort of the first step in collating all of the loan applications thus far for this Elm Street project. So there's a loan application for step 1, which is preliminary engineering, one for step 2, which is final design, and then there's one for step 3, which is everything. It brings everything together, and at the end of construction, you'll have one loan for the project for the drinking water program. So this request actually is for the entire project amount on the drinking water side. And the total requested loan for again, just for the drinking water is 1.5 million. That's a loan request, again, through the state drinking water SRF program. You are eligible for 50% disadvantaged subsidy, the village is, through the SRF program, and that's applied directly to construction. So the construction cost is basically half off, 50% of the construction cost, the final construction cost. That's not money you necessarily see up front, that's money that's applied to the principal balance at the end of the project. Once the loan is being closed, the state applies that subsidy to it, and your loan over 20, I think, is it 20 years? 40-year loan, sorry, 40-year loan at 0% is amortized at the 50% of the final construction cost. However, up front you have to apply for the full amount, and that's what this application is for. I'd like to say this is a quick process. Maybe 5 years ago, this was maybe a 6-week process where they would, the state and the bond bank would process the loans, and you would have a loan in front of you for signature, loan documents for signature and approval, and you'd be off and running with submitting reimbursements to the state to get reimbursed for the funding as the project is moving along. Past few years, that's really taken a dive. It could be a couple months out, three months out potentially before the loan is approved. It's something that, once this is approved and signed by the trustees, that has to be signed by all the trustees, then the clerk and John will submit this through the state portal to get the process rolling, and we check in with them on a regular basis to see what the status is of the loan. This doesn't mean you cannot start the project. And in fact, we're actually moving forward with advertising the project for bid tomorrow, because you really want to take advantage of the construction season. Not to say that somebody's gonna start construction here in the next couple of weeks. Likely we'll see somebody hit the ground, best case in the May timeframe. So, depending on how fast the state moves with this, you could have loan documents in place, but I don't know where they're gonna be at with some of the timing on this stuff. And we've talked with John and Abby a little bit about mechanisms in the interim to deal with that cash flow if you get you know, if you don't necessarily have a loan approved through the bond bank right away. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else you wanted me to touch on, John, or anybody have any questions on the loan process?
I'm good.
Doesn't sound like something we have much of a choice in anyway, so we hope that it goes as well as it goes.
I mean, we could pay for it out of pocket, but.
Well,
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, you do.
40 years is 0%.
You always have a choice, and 50% subsidy, and
Yeah.
you always
Yeah,
have a
well, this
choice, you know, but,
Sounds great.
yeah, so,
I mean, it is what it is.
I don't have a question about the loan, I have another question. What's the difference between drinking water and clean water?
well, one comes out of the tap, one goes down the toilet.
So wastewater.
Yeah,
That's right.
clean water
Yeah,
is
clean water is
wastewater.
Why do
drinking
they call it
water.
clean water?
It's
It's
misleading.
That's a good question, because
It's probably not so clean water.
Cleaning the water is the idea.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shouldn't have laughed.
And the plan on Elm Street is we are gonna have to look at like a line of credit or a bond anticipation note until it's completely done. And then the sewer side, like Jason said, is gonna be primarily covered for CSO ARPA money, and then it'll just be the water side that we're gonna end up having to finance. But I believe that was the 40-year
40 years,
0%, yes.
Yeah.
So
That's the bond.
kind of a no-brainer to go
Yeah.
that route there. We'll just need to look at short-term, just because of cash flow with all these projects, and then we'll be able to capitalize on the bond loans.
And I can put a cash flow together for you, if you need one, if you.
Okay, I know Wayne did mention that the other day. I think we
Yeah.
need to kind of sit down and figure that out, and maybe touch base with you and Wayne on that, and then, cause I've planted the seed for our bank as well, so they're aware we may be going that direction, so we can sit down and see which way works best for everybody.
Revolving loan through, or a line of credit through.
It'd be like, it's called a bond anticipation loan. We can either do one with Vermont Bond Bank, or like a line of credit with Peoples, we can see which ways, or A&E, we might be able to work something there, so.
See who gets the best deal.
Yep.
Oh, sounds like we're set on that then.
Perfect.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Just happy to see it going and done. It'll be wonderful.
So we'll talk about this a little bit further. It's going to be challenging. There's going to be a lot of network.
Yeah.
So we'll, as we get into it with a contractor, we'll have a
It's a
lot
big project.
of just, yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad I
So-
don't live on Elm Street.
I'm not sure that I'm happy I still live on Main Street.
You're gonna get some of
Yeah, I
it.
Yeah.
actually have that tonight. I'm gonna start speaking to it a little
Okay,
bit.
all right, yeah,
You're
good.
more welcome to stay for it. I'm just gonna put high level. Traffic
I
where we're
can
looking
if
at
you
it.
need me to. It's up to you, John.
I'm good it's gonna be high level for this,
Okay.
just get it out there where we're looking
Yeah.
at and
I'm
stuff.
gonna
Yeah.
put a donation box out in front of my house.
So, but I should have it, but if you want, you're more welcome to stick around, it's up to you. So,
If this happens, should I park at the golf course?
you should move.
Yeah.
You can come and live with me, Leonard.
We can
Watch
put you
what's
a
going
phone
on.
upstairs.
Take over Gary's
The
office.
basement's nice, basement is nice here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Especially if it's raining.
All right, so with that,
I'm good, but if you wanna stay, you're
I'm
welcome.
good. You just need, you'll need a motion to approve.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
You're all set.
Yeah, so motion approved,
are we good for church and Elm?
yeah, I would do church first.
Yeah.
And then do, Elm.
Okay.
Two different.
Oh, I need a motion to approve the Vermont State Revolving Loan Fund loan agreement for final design on Church Street.
Move.
Second.
Sandy had the first, Eli with the second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Okay, next I need a motion to sign off on the Elm Street Water Project Revolving Loan Fund Program application.
Move.
Second.
Eli had the first and Leonard had the second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, should be good on those.
Once that's signed
Aye.
by everybody, just shoot it
Yep.
back to me and I'll get it submitted.
Yep, perfect. Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
So if you want to jump back, Sean's on.
Yeah, oh yeah, let's head back to the Franklin
Very good.
Foods allocation request.
Back to four.
Hi, everybody.
Hey there.
Aye. Causing an owl in the street.
So,
Sorry I can't be there with you today.
It's okay.
So just to summarize, there was a little back and forth between John Ovitt and I over who was responsible for these fees, and then I realized that we were. Now that we got that sorted out, I would like, because we have a development schedule, everything in building projects like we're gonna build involves how am I managing cash flow? And you never wanna put it out, it's really hard, it can actually jeopardize your whole project to put it all up front. So we'll show that we're committed and to hang on to those allocations and that we're gonna pay them. We just wanna get on schedule. So we're hoping that you guys will be all right with 20 grand a month.
And you have the,
Thank
For
you.
sorry, what?
$20,000 a month.
Okay.
so you have the amortization schedule that Abby put together.
So we done, paid up by, September?
Yeah, it's 19 months, just the straight 20%. We've done payment plans with Franklin Foods before. We don't generally charge interest. Sean, would we be invoicing Purpose Energy or Franklin Foods for these allocations?
Purpose Energy. And it would actually be an entity called Purpose Energy Enosburg Falls
Yep.
LLC.
Okay. So I put on this amortization schedule March 22nd as the first payment due date because that's the 2-year anniversary of the allocations. And then this is also, like I said in my email, going to trigger the bonds to start being paid for because they're paying for the allocations, but that'll be a separate invoice to Franklin Foods through their normal billing and account system.
And that's the full amount for each.
And that would be
each
the full amount, as I think I sent that letter with you guys again.
Yep.
So it'll be that full amount for the bonds that's down below.
month. And the wastewater's fine to absorb.
Yes, and Brian has
Yeah,
reviewed this, and Brian's fully in support of this plan.
I like these terms.
Sounds good to me.
Do we, just not saying this is going to happen, but do we want to impose anything if a payment is late? Or are we just gonna let it slide, or are we gonna, do you wanna do a 1% interest is what we charge on customers now?
1% for late.
Correct.
It shouldn't just let it
Shouldn't be any
slide.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
typical customer.
Okay, so just when you're approving it, if you can just throw that in there so we have that in the minutes. Not saying that that's gonna be an issue, but I just wanna make sure we're covered.
Okay. Yeah, I'll, hear a motion to accept the Franklin Foods Digested Project amortization schedule with a 1% per month penalty for late fee.
Move.
Sheila had first, Leonard with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, nay. Glad we could work something out.
Man, you guys are hard to work with.
And we want a tour and we want to see it when it's done too.
Oh, you'll get it.
Sean, I'll email.
Appreciate it.
Sean, I'll.
And I promise to come to a meeting, you guys are about 3.5 hours north of me in Western Mass. I will be up more as we get ramped up here, and I'll see more of it.
You can come in the spring.
Yeah.
That was last week.
All right.
No, it's gonna
Thank
snow
you.
tonight.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, we are hard to work with, aren't we?
Awful.
And-
Bunch of curmudgeons.
Since you asked. Alright, up next, EBCA,
Okay. Can I,
Easter egg hunt park application. Yeah, Sandy, go ahead.
Shauna is sick.
Okay.
I talked to her this afternoon and, told her to go home and go to bed and we'd handle this.
Well, I hope she
Yeah, I'm pretty
gets,
sure we can.
gets over it pretty
Take care
quickly.
of this
Her permits are usually pretty well spot on.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's gonna be any issues.
No,
with
I
this,
don't think so either, but you know Shauna,
Yeah.
what do I do? I gotta go home, I'm sick. It's like, go home.
Yep. Alright, motion to approve waive fee.
Move, we approve and waive the fee for ECBA.
Sandy has the
Maybe
first.
back of the month.
Is there a second?
Second.
Eli with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Every pack
Those
of
opposed,
the
no. Nay. Okay.
Moving on.
Up next, general fund budget changes. So I guess there was a little mix up.
Yes, so
last time.
I didn't reprint everybody a copy of it, but we made that $25,000 adjustment that I emailed everyone about, and that dropped us down to 0.8818% of a tax rate, which is a 12.8 cent change and a 17% increase over last year.
Okay.
So,
Let me find.
do you want to look at this?
What is the corrected tax rate?
0.8818
Okay, and what had we approved it at?
was I didn't print out that copy with me, 9. It was over 9.
Yeah, doesn't, yeah, that's fine.
8.4.
It's going down. So that's
It's
good.
going down, it's going in the right direction.
It's going in the make people happy direction.
Okay, so that being said, I will hear a motion to make a correction on the set tax rate for 2024 at 0.8818%.
Not percent. Right?
0.8818.
Just 0.8818.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
yep.
Move.
Okay, yeah.
Second.
Go ahead first. Sandy had the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, nay.
Thank you.
That's good. It's a happy accident.
Yeah, it is.
Bob Ross?
Bob Ross is doing our budget.
She made a tree, happy little tree.
$100,000 for paint. Let's move on to manager's report.
Just a couple items tonight. Police coverage, so Billy Joe asked me to stop up and talk with her, I guess the select board.
Oh,
You got
you're supposed to be sleeping.
You're all set.
Pale as a ghost.
real nice, Sandy. Boy, you don't look good.
No, my headache's gone.
I told her to go
Sir,
home.
I'm all approved.
Yeah, you're all
missed
approved.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. That was easy.
We initiated a new $100,000 fee, but other than that, it's good.
Oh,
We had to move it to PM from AM if that's okay.
It's at midnight.
oh, I guess
all
my
good.
only request would be, I don't know if I put it in the, if I can interrupt you, I'm sorry. If I can put it in the, I didn't put it in the, request. And I know that the guys are always very good about helping to pick
We're
them
gonna
up.
measure the cleanup.
Yeah, I'll put Facebook Ken.
Awesome, thank you. Okay.
Takes
Yeah,
many
they're
hands
close
with
in
those
here.
bags.
The village crew pickup.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
You're already on top of it.
All right.
I thought you were gonna check the liquor served box this time.
Parents corner.
Maybe a special egg hunt for the
Right,
right?
It's like those little German ones that have the stuff inside.
So yes,
All the fun I missed.
you're all set. It was about 30 seconds.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all. Have a
You're
good
very
night.
welcome.
Shauna, you came down here, Shauna,
Yeah.
you came down here, I was gonna talk to police coverage, I don't know if you wanna
Oh,
stay for
yes.
1 minute. There's not really any breaking, but, as soon as you made the trip.
Yeah.
So I was asked by Billy Joe to go up and visit, because I guess the town would like to meet, I guess, and do a meeting at some point.
Wonderful.
We're talking after probably the annual meeting in March at some time. So we just gotta follow up with a date and time with them. I'll coordinate with Billy Joe on that to set up some time. We're probably gonna do it in executive, not that I think there's anything executive per se, but I think the feeling is we know what the issues are. So instead of, we're just trying to cut to the chase and start talking about what we have for a contract, I know Jesse's done some
So
legwork.
it would be a contract negotiations at that point. So we
Yeah.
can't just jump.
Jesse's done some legwork, Abby and I have done some legwork on, other alternate things, so I think I mentioned it here already once before in a meeting. We're working on maybe a regionalized type meeting and looking at it from the Swanton, St. Albans City.
The more eyes we have on it, perhaps the more we'll learn.
So that's the original goal, is just to have that type of meeting and maybe start really focusing on how we get coverage, what it looks like, how that works. Again, we kind of know what's happening around. We're all in the know, both town and village, so we're gonna start there. So that's where it's at right now.
That's good. That's good. Go on to
Yep.
Yeah. Who's hosting?
I believe they're gonna host it. It's kind of their turn, and so
That's awesome.
that's where we're at.
So is that gonna be a specific police coverage meeting?
At
That-
this point,
that's it?
that's all we're talking about, yes.
Cause I know those agendas tend to get
Okay.
crowded in a hurry.
Well, again, not to be like, that's kind of why we were thinking executive, because we know that it's a hot topic and, you know, we'd rather have the focus
Well, it's a place to start,
on what we can start working on as opposed to, you know,
When does the sheriff's contract? Is that got one more
Yeah,
year?
Like, the-
At least one, if not two more.
I think two, it's a 3-year,
I
right?
don't know if it's a moot point, I don't think there is a contract right now.
I guess they haven't.
They're
been
not
abiding
holding up
by
to
it,
the
so-
contract.
Right.
Yeah, they're not abiding their end of the contract, I understand
So I
that.
don't think they're even using it.
But if it hasn't been rescinded, is it still in place?
At this point, what's it matter?
Well,
Yeah,
What are they
Other than
gonna
a
go after us
legality.
for the coverage that they didn't
Yeah,
give us?
Has it been modified to like a pay as you?
it's a pay-as-you-go.
yeah, they're on per diem.
Did she mention to you at all recently, like in the past weeks, how much coverage we've had?
We just got an email, I emailed it to you folks today. We just got an email, I can go pull it up, actually I haven't looked at it either, I just forwarded it
I
off.
haven't read it yet.
I can look at it real quick, I'll turn it off.
Well, good old Eli's on it.
So I know the state is considering changing requirements for a sheriff and some other stuff. How is that going to affect this conversation? Mike McCarthy mentioned it.
My personal opinion, and Billy and Joe and I talked about this, you know, the scenario we're in with that, I think we just, to get coverage quickly, I think we're just gonna go a different direction.
Yeah, because this, what they're discussing, what McCarthy was talking about is not moving quickly.
Doesn't
Yeah.
really say
No.
how
Gonna
long
take
it
forever.
will
Right, but I was
be.
just kind of like thinking about like what the state's doing and
It would-
whatever we do, it should be informed by what directions we think maybe the state might be going.
It would be for whatever the next sheriff's election is, if they even impose it that quickly, because it's changing the qualifications. Not just anybody can run. You need to be a like
Right.
level 3 trained law enforcement officer in order to run for sheriff. So it's not really going to affect anything until it's in
No.
place, and then depending on who runs for sheriff at that point.
I guess part of what I'm wondering is there also anything else in that committee that they're talking about? Because I know that was just one of the topics of that committee.
For like actual officer requirements?
I don't like there was a couple of things going on in that committee. But when they had the legislative breakfast, they all only gave quick little snippets. So I'm wondering what else the committee is talking about, and if there's stuff that we should know that might be coming down
Right.
in our way, just to
To
help inform
restructure
us.
our police coverage.
So it might just be worth an email maybe to Mike.
Or I would email, who was Savage, I mean, he seemed like in the legislative meeting,
Oh, yeah.
that was his
Yep.
group or whatever he was in. It's his, so I can email Savage and ask him if there's any updates.
Okay, somebody,
Brian.
Brian
Brian.
Savage?
Yeah.
He's
Right, that's-
He's
he's not a
Okay.
legislator anymore.
Who's the,
Is it Randy Brock?
who's the other tall guy? The other, I thought he was Sheldon.
Oh, Tom
Tom
Oliver?
Tom Oliver, yes.
Well,
Somebody on that committee.
He would certainly be
Anyway.
on top of answers.
Yeah,
And they might be able to also,
Now give it to us straight.
somehow be helpful.
again, I mean, the research I've done, I think we just need to start looking at a totally different direction.
Because the way that particular department is right now, that we still have a contract with, nothing's going to happen.
And it's gonna be 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, not until that's
Whether
over.
it's legislative or if it's the position or whatever, it's gonna be at least.
And I don't
at
think
least-
legislative wise it's gonna happen at all.
Yeah.
Because it all happened after,
Happened prior to
or
being
prior to
sheriff,
his
so.
being elected, so.
In this meeting, have we invited any law enforcement officers to attend?
We can, I mean, I can invite Bill Sheets, we can talk to Mo, cause I mean, that's one direction we might be looking at, is there like kind of I mean, my idea, the quickest would be, is there like another base or whatever, can we open another base here for Sheldon, or for Swanton or St. Albans?
Do like an outpost.
Like an outpost, would they be interested, type of thing, so.
They used to work.
I mean, they're kind of thriving as opposed to going the other direction, so I might start asking those types of questions. So, but we weren't, I think the main first point was that sit and discuss.
Right, and it's hard with all these unknowns as people who don't have a law enforcement background as to how we're gonna go about doing it. We need a little bit of insight, somebody who knows what they're doing, what they're talking about,
Right.
to try to steer us in a direction.
No, I agree. Yeah, we can definitely.
Doesn't Bill have that background?
Yeah, Bill, I mean, he was in the state police for 30 years. He still has his ear to the ground a bit as goes on within the state police world. So,
I'm sure Mo Lamoth would come from an informational standpoint and maybe a potential. He's pretty,
Yeah,
Mo's
just,
pretty good.
yeah,
I like
just-
Mo.
No, we don't know, so we need somebody that does.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
yeah, I'd say we reach out and, yeah, see who can make it.
no, we can work on that. They can definitely probably pinpoint us if we're dreaming or somewhat realistic.
Yeah.
type of
I mean, even it's good to even know that.
So that's what that's at right now. The other topic I had was Elm Street, the sewer water, as we just talked about.
Thanks, John.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Ron.
So we had a meeting with A&E on Friday, and again, this is just high level at this point. We'll start diving in as things get closer. But just a heads up on the traffic. They're looking at a couple of the projects will be done at night, which will be a little bit more, but just with the traffic in that area being so congested, it's gonna be a nightmare pretty much, is what we figured out.
I know some customers that won't be happy.
So like the biggest section, obviously the corner of Pleasant and Elm, because there's a line that goes right down the middle of the road there, we're gonna be moving that to the side, so that's gonna take some more excavating than the other work.
Valve boxes are all right there too, right?
Yeah, we have valve boxes literally in the middle of the road. We have an old hydrant on the corner of Pleasant that needs to get moved. So there's some work
They're gonna do what
there.
they gotta do.
So that's gonna be done at night.
When's the tree
You
coming down,
won't sleep
Darren?
much.
I wanna watch, so I can cry.
Can that corner be brought in on John Colburn's lawn? So the trucks
Good
can
luck with
turn
that.
that corner?
That'll go over well.
The truck shouldn't be going up that way anyway.
They shouldn't, but I see more when they drive up, back up a couple times to be able to make it.
Well, this is the fun part, is we're gonna have to coordinate this, cause it could be happening at the same time, or we're hoping it'll be done, we gotta look at it logistically. We're hoping to get that corner done, it might actually be one of the first parts of the project, and they may start up towards Eli's, because Eli's is the other section, that intersection that's gonna be done at night, cause again, you got people zipping off on Watertown Road, and,
If we just had those trucks going out JView Drive, that would be so much simpler.
so those are the two main projects that are gonna be done at night, is the one on Corner Pleasant and up by Eli's. There's one more section down towards Orchard, I think they're gonna do at night too, but, again, that
Can I
just
sleep
was
at your house?
some more,
I'll sleep off the kitchen.
The
level.
slip lining, wasn't that part of the slip lining?
yeah, cause the slip lining is like literally in the middle of the street, I think, part of it.
Yeah, for
So-
the sewer,
And that's all concrete road.
correct.
Are
Right.
they removing the concrete?
Mhm.
They're digging through it. Can we remove it? How much extra would that be?
No, yeah, no,
You
that's-
have to
you have to
be
repack,
astronomical.
and, yeah, he said we can't remove it, that's why we're going to the
Goes another
side.
few million.
Or bust it up? So it's flexing. Alright.
So traffic wise, that is gonna be done at night. Other than that, it's gonna be a lot of one way. And so the thought is like, what do you do with the truck traffic, or with the traffic? Do we set up like a detour down Pleasant Street? Maybe send the cars down there and do no trucks, but cars.
Put a left turn only sign at the end of East Street for trucks.
So if you have any honestly, if you have thoughts or suggestions as we think through it all, but that's where we're at is,
Who is in charge of traffic control? A&E?
well, A&E will hire it out and then they'll have a traffic control company come in.
I know, but developing like a traffic pattern
That'd
and
be
sign
the
package.
contractor.
The actual contractor will, but we've already started down that road of
Okay.
where the work, night work, they'll be coordinating it all.
So I know a lot of times, if it's a state road, they won't allow a detour on a municipal highway. but being a municipal project, will they allow that?
That's all our
It's all
roads, it doesn't
municipal road
matter.
through there.
Right, but it is and it isn't, it's still 108, I mean 105.
Yeah, as far as we know,
It's owned by us, but it's a state route.
From the way they explained it in the meeting Friday, it's considered municipal
yeah.
through there
'Cause, yeah.
because we maintain and even though it's 108, but it's
Yeah,
still
but it's just
considered.
like let's just say they do that because let's say you get an overweight, overwidth permit, whatever. Like the state roads are up to a certain spec, and so just because it's owned by us, it's still a state highway. Basically, it labels it that it's up to a certain width, certain load bearing, that kind of stuff. So
I mean, I know as far as like traffic control, we have to follow what they agreed to, but as far as, what we do there, no, it's ours. Cause I know, I believe that's what we're running into, because of that, part of that sidewalk project, because it is on state property, it is gonna be a little bit more of a challenge there, but, as far as that section, because we're all our property down through.
one side note, I heard some rumors about once we get that sidewalk, the state is gonna drop that section of highway, including that intersection. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I would check up on that.
Okay, no, nothing's moving, as if it did, that was the big problem, if we moved it onto ours. If we moved that line past theirs.
What I'm saying is if I was told, rumor again, that if we set that sidewalk up to go to the rec center, the state will drop that section of road to us.
They have
Well,
called.
because once you put a sidewalk in, it's not theirs anymore, is what I was told, which I don't know if that's true or not. But I just wanna make sure that it's not gonna be one of those
Be worth finding out.
sneaky things that happen. Well, I mean,
I
yes and no.
don't think it would be a bad thing.
Right, because at that point we can get our traffic light
Yeah.
that we so desperately need.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, putting a traffic light is gonna be more, what did they say last time, $500,000 or something?
Like 3 to 5.
Wow, it was,
Something
like I said,
stupid.
1.1 for the one in Stowe.
So I just wanna make sure that that's not on the table, cause I haven't heard of anything in the deal with that, but.
I was able to check, maybe call Thursday, but as far as I know, no, but because that was part of the process, as I was just saying, we're having to go through the state for a lot of these,
Yeah.
through a lot of these applications, because now we're crossing that state, it's not ours.
Right.
So, and that was part of the deal too, because if we moved it past there, we could have kind of made up any rule we wanted, as far as the crosswalk and so forth, if we moved it, but we're not, so now we have to abide by what the state says for that crosswalk.
Which I guess just find out, cause like Eli said, it may not be.
Might not be the worst thing in the world that ever
Yeah.
happened.
Might not.
So again, there's more to come. I just wanted to get it out there. As far as traffic, it's gonna be busy through there in the summer. And like I said, if Vermont Gas is supposed to start this summer as well, building out to St. Pierre. So if that's the case, people could be stopping in Berkshire somewhere and getting impatient and getting to
Yeah.
Are they
Getting
putting
impatient.
Pinecone yet? The gas line?
Are they what?
No.
How far does the gas line go?
Like right by Maddie's,
Right, existing now?
Matt Leach.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
no,
where it
existing now, it
stops.
stops right at the end of the village.
I thought it went all the way to East Berkshire or something.
No. We are gonna put a letter together to St. Pierre's, DFA, Franklin Foods or something, it's gonna help much, but,
I wonder if we could get Franklin Foods to talk to their truck drivers, like, listen, you need to go out
The
by
other
Jolly
way.
on Depot Street.
Yeah.
Can't go the other way.
Sometimes if you ask, people really do comply.
Yeah.
Where are we at with the East State extension?
I'm bugging the carpenters to try to sell it to us. I've been trying to talk them into it, it hasn't gone that way yet, but hoping it will.
Not surprised it would take a while.
Let's re-explore that while we're in the business of that area.
No,
Reach back out and see what kind of incentives we can get. Franklin Foods, I know that the road would kind of take over their parking lot, how are they?
I asked John that question and, it sounds like that over the past 100 years, this has been the answer and it still is. They would love it, but they don't plan on putting any funds into doing it.
Okay. That's fine.
If we wanna
I
do
mean,
it,
it
they'd
would
love to
obviously
use it.
fund their, as we enter their parking lot and all that portion of it, but
Yeah.
as far as the road coming off of JV down there, it didn't sound like they were
There's
gonna.
a nice quarter-acre lot there that'll make a good parking lot.
Yeah, that would be nice though. That would save a lot.
Yep. Would solve a lot of headaches.
A lot of things.
No, it's still being worked on, yes.
Good.
On Elm Street, you could put a bypass from Napa right through to the golf course. Get you onto Whittle Way.
Right through the golf course.
Yeah, right through
Well,
the
you
golf
have
course.
to
Not the
all you
golf-
have to
the
do is
parking
go to
lot.
the state garage, then you could cut through to the golf course and then.
Yeah, I give you permission to go by my back lawn.
Yeah.
You'll sell us an easement?
Yeah. That would solve all the problems.
$5. That's all we're paying.
That's not bad.
No, for the whole easement.
Yeah.
That's what we're working on right now, is easements for all that, Levi's, McDermott's, the state, and then on the other side for the sidewalk, gyms and then all the way up through. So,
The rest of it's all Pomeroy's land?
Parma, well, there's something funky there, there's always something. So the state was really keeping an eye on it because the Parmelo owns McDonald's lot. But they had to verify in the lease that what the rights were of McDonald's in that lease. So so we couldn't just get the blessing from Parmelo on McDonald's land, even though that they're the technical owner, they lease it. There's some other stuff. So that's getting filtered out.
Sounds like it was a lease that should have been a bill of sale.
But yeah, more to come on that. I just want to start putting it out there. We are gonna start notifying some of the bigger trucking outfits in the area that this work's gonna be going on all summer, and if they want to start looking for a different route, it might be a good time to start planning that route. Because there are gonna be some days that it's gonna be not so fun through there.
Sounds like I'll park at the hotel.
Cut through the back.
If I can't get out of my own driveway.
Is water coming all the way down to Orchard? Or is it just a slip?
What's something? Something's coming to Orchard?
It's going
Starting
all,
at
it's starting at Orchard all the way up to Water Tower.
So it's Main and.
Main and
Yep.
And repaving Main Street out there.
Just what they tore up.
just whatever they.
Nice patch job.
We're almost due, so we're gonna need
Yeah.
to start thinking about budgeting for Main.
Yeah,
coming up in the next couple,
It's
3
it's
years.
got some issues.
You know, there's some new holes that I noticed started developing.
Well, we gotta figure
Well,
out
that's-
infrastructure.
That was all part of,
So we gotta figure the infrastructure
Doing
underneath
more-
before we start repaving.
yeah, and then connecting it to the Vital Village
Yeah.
project, so.
But with that cement underneath there, it's only, it doesn't take long for it to get the.
Yeah. And that's why I'd like to take that out.
No, yeah, Wayne from A&E was like, it's just ridiculous, the cost nowadays to do that. You gotta remove it and repack it, and then, I mean, a lot of it would be closing down, it'd be night work probably.
Yeah.
It's just,
Detours.
yeah,
I know.
it's doable, but not cheap.
Anything's possible.
Just like everything, yeah.
When we're rich.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Elon, can you help
Thank you,
out?
John. Other business? We kind of dove into some just barely, but anybody got any more?
I've got a fun, happy one that I can't believe you didn't put in your manager's report.
Oh,
We as a proud new
Oh, I
owners
like
and have received our digger truck.
Really?
They delivered it Saturday morning. Alan and Isaac came in and John, Harry and Gary had a little truck receiving party here.
Everybody get to go for a ride, did you?
It's
I didn't yet.
Yeah, that's good news.
Avery offered to let me go up in the captain's chair and run the auger, but I'm like, that's in nobody's best interest right now.
That's against the personnel policy.
Yes.
But they seem happy with it so far. I think it's up to John's already, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's getting
It's up to-
decal and be ready to go.
Great.
But they are, so far they seem happy and it's shiny and pretty for a minute.
The first shiny new thing
Right.
we've had in a while.
The expectation is that every time it's used, it's washed before it's put away.
There.
I can't hold my breath that long.
It's gonna be monitored very closely.
What about undercoat?
Well, we thought about that too, yeah.
And that's not anything that we need to get a quote for. I think they would be more than capable of doing that.
Spraying some fluid film underneath that.
Yeah,
You can buy the gun setup. I don't know if it's in the budget, but you can buy the gun setup and a couple gallons of fluid film for what?
$200.
There you go.
yeah, we thought.
And they'd have the gun forever, and they could do all the other pickups that they get eventually.
Yeah.
You
You just draw 100 and dispose of it.
know? Right.
I think let's have them do that.
Yeah, we were gonna look into it. I'm guessing you can definitely do it, I don't know, we haven't watched too, because they do have a lot of levers and stuff on that underneath there as well.
That'd be good.
So-
Keep it
Yeah,
lubricated.
good.
Sounds
Keep
very
all
prudent
linkage
to do
up.
it.
Yeah, no, hose that thing.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I think we gotta look the auger, the teeth are a little bit different. I guess they've had this kind before, and we may have to look at different teeth depending on how it goes. But other than that, I think we should be in pretty good shape. And next year's budget, bucket truck. So 105's gotta go.
So, I mean, we can bring it up as an agenda item at some point, we just weren't there yet, because we're waiting for this one to come in, make sure it showed up and was working. But the other bucket truck, the other digger truck. What to do with that, so, we were thinking of taking it to Valcor's repair and having something done to it to make it a chipper truck or something, so we're gonna get some estimates and
Yeah.
in front of the board.
Would be a good idea.
Make it go away.
No, that's a good running truck.
Love maintenance bills.
No kidding.
Other business?
I've got two things. One, I've been hearing a lot of complaints, and I've been seeing it myself. People not picking up after their pets, specifically dogs. People not picking up after their dogs.
Yeah, not too many cats.
What can we? Is there anything we can do about that? I mean,
It's a health hazard.
it's always, you always see stuff after the snow melts, but it is definitely worse than years past, and it's
Where are you talking?
just anywhere you
The
walk
entire
in the village.
village.
Like it used to be like pretty concentrated, like in the park. We've known specific people in the park, but now it's seeming to be like more than just one or two people. And I've
Kind
been
of like
seeing
it's the
in-
latest thing. You know,
I mean-
watch your dog and then walk on.
Yeah, I've been seeing like just even posts in different Facebook groups of just people being, oh my gosh, nobody's picking up after the dogs in Enosburg. I saw this person and that person, and I don't know what we can do about it.
We're gonna do a Facebook post on it and then put the signs back up, and we usually put those signs up in the spring.
Bags are out still. as
And
of
the
for
bags are
today,
still out.
so-
Yeah,
What a shame.
in the
Tar and feather.
yeah, it's like actually on sidewalks, like not even just on
Yeah.
people's lawns, which is not pleasant
It's
either,
right
but
in the
like
middle of
right
the
in the
sidewalk.
middle of the sidewalk.
You can, and it, in some instances, you can almost tell that somebody yanked on the leash and just dragged the dog along.
And
Which, you know, those people should be shot anyway.
And it's not just one or two spots, it's lots of streets. It's pretty awful. Yeah, so Facebook posts sound like a good start. Maybe, I don't know, trying to get through to people is
That's a good
Can be
sign.
challenging. but John, did you sign that lease?
I didn't,
Is that done?
he's gonna get it together,
Okay.
and then I was gonna talk to you.
The lights were all on tonight.
I noticed that, yeah.
Oh, you left them on?
They're on, yeah. The
Oh, shit.
potential youth center.
Did you leave them on?
It was all lit up when I came
No, but I
there.
have a key, he said that we can go in there.
Oh, okay.
So, it's up in that truck, I gotta grab it.
Okay.
So yeah, we just gotta go back over there, that guy left quite a bit of stuff, and he said we can use it all, whatever we don't wanna use, he'll get rid of,
Okay,
and he's gonna clean it, and get the lease together,
great.
so. I think it's a pretty good opportunity, there's, refrigerators, freezer, washing sink,
Such a good start.
tables.
Yeah.
He left both those, sandwich coolers, whatever you call them.
That's great. Those are expensive.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's two of those.
Wild.
There's actually that mixing machine he left, and Sean's not gonna use any of it. Whatever we don't wanna use, they'll take out.
Cool. I can't wait. It looks like the the state is going to allow municipalities to apply for the grant, which was the original intention, but it was being held up by some legislative questions. There's the testimony last week was really long and could have been a lot longer, but I need to get some updates because they should have been voting on it by now. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Those wheels turn slow.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, that's what I had.
Abby, did you chat about what I called you about by any chance?
Yes, she did.
I happily told our village manager about it, and then the ball was in his court now.
So a couple of things on that. So Sandy brought it to my attention, and somebody else had brought it to my attention as well. And I mean, it's not anything new, but just some of the houses, and we're working on 3 of them that leave trash and things outside their homes, not making it super appealing. So, my thought is, and I don't mind calling some of the folks.
I realize that not everybody walks all over like I do.
But
I did today.
do we look, I'm hoping that
That's
a
next
little
door
bit
to
of a
me.
butterfly effect
That's what I look at.
from
Yeah.
these
Every time I
units,
come out.
and as we clean up,
Same?
other people
That's
start to
those
realize
wheels on
it's starting
the
to,
It's down on the corner
not
of
the same, and
Lower
you need to get
Pleasant
stuff
and then around
cleaned
the
up.
school.
And I have no problem calling some of
This is-
those
I
that
recognize that
Tobias.
one.
maybe a little
Own a
more
bakery and
overboard.
have a place that looks like that, and that's Greg's.
I don't know if you all know Henry Newberger. He was the health officer as well for a couple of years.
Oh yeah,
Um,
got himself in a lot of trouble.
he had brought me Hardwick's, their ordinance, and the biggest difference in their ordinance and our ordinance is they actually go and they pick the stuff up and then they send a bill to the resident. I mean, it's all written in here. You're more than welcome to look at it. I still question, even though you read it, it's fairly straightforward.
I'm gonna pass those on.
Like, how do I know that that's?
Can you send that to email out to us?
I only, or you can probably go
Or you
online.
paper
Yeah.
copy?
I only have a paper copy.
We
You wanna take a look
I
and
can
move it
scan it
on?
and send it to you. Or I can go online and get the link.
And that is okay? Like, that's
Well, that's
legal
where,
to
I
do
mean,
that?
again,
Because
it's
I just feel
kind
like
of straightforward. I always remember when I worked for
I didn't put
a
any
cable
names on it,
company,
just for
kind of
this
across from your house, the guy was
purpose,
renovating
it's just
one
in
of
the
the
village.
houses. And he, I don't know if there's, but he left the sink and the shower out in the front lawn. And he was renovating and then someone took it and it was free.
right.
But he's planning to put it back in. So he had a big sign out in the front lawn saying bring it back because he was putting it back in the house. So I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I can-
What's
Almost see like, do they give them a warning? Like, if this isn't done before a certain
That's
time?
what I would think, you
We'll
have
take
30
it.
days or 60 days or whatever,
It's- Again,
We'll
yeah,
come
it's
back and
people's
inspect.
property.
and go from there.
That's
Even if it's
been brought
garbage
up in the
property.
past, and I didn't, the board at the time didn't think that was exactly the right route to go. Cause yeah, you're taking people's property, but at the same time, it's like, if you have a mountain of garbage, just let it pile up. The municipality comes in and takes it out and bills you $100, $50, whatever it was. You just got rid of $200 worth of trash for $50, and you didn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like we just would have to be like so clear, like what would constitute garbage for in doing that.
Yeah, so we had something in the works, I'm not sure where this is
But
at.
it's like, where did it go? What's
Well-
happening?
Old furniture, any trash that is in bags, appliances that have been left outside, stuff like that. It did include cars that, I think it currently does, they have to move. They have to be moved every 30 days and they have to be legally registered.
Yeah.
There's a truck next door to me that's been there for 6 years.
Right, so like, cars are that's a little more touchy, cause you get some people that have cars, whatever, so.
If you want, I can read this real quick. So this is the duty of the owners. In general requirements, it shall be the responsibility of each owner thereof to keep his or her their or its property free of solid waste, garbage, junk motor vehicles, or trash as defined in the ordinance. So you can go back and look at the ordinance. The owner of any property shall be responsible for removing solid waste, garbage, junk motor vehicles, or trash accumulating on said property. Solid waste prohibited receptacles are defined above, can remain on site but must contain all the waste within them. And then they just have that one provision is the section shall not apply to junk utilized in connection with a bona fide agricultural operation. Which I know that's what the town or Jesse's had mentioned in the past, that, you know,
What kind of junk would be used in agriculture?
Yeah,
I
junk
know.
is
Junk is
junk.
junk.
It's like a,
And that's what I mean by like
tractor that
having
you
it
need to
listed
part off for
down.
20 years,
This was
I don't know.
clean
How's it
until
been
he
parked?
moved
I
it.
know.
But that's why
yeah.
like having it listed and defined, that way people can't dispute. It's
Yeah.
not junk, it's valuable to me and I'm
I just
holding
wanted
it
you
for.
guys to see that I wasn't
the
just,
one man's
Yeah.
trash, another man's treasure.
Exactly.
Where we left off, it was, I'm pretty sure that we'd notify the landowner, not the
Right.
tenant,
right,
whoever's paying the taxes.
Yeah.
And then if the junk wasn't cleaned up, I think it was 14 days, then they would be getting like a $50 per day fine on their taxes. So the landowner would have.
and at the end of that time period, that $50 fine should go up if they still haven't done anything.
I think our total was 250, but then we put a lien on it,
Right.
so then we have.
So the max is 250?
I believe, I go back to.
But like where I'm getting like more
Yeah,
anxious
so
about
it
it.
starts at 50 for the first 3 offenses, something like that, and it goes
Then
up
it
to
goes
100
up.
and 250.
Yeah.
No, it was, what we were thinking is $50 a day. If you wanna run out 300 days, that's fine, but we're still gonna get that in your taxes, yeah.
Yeah, where I'm just like feeling the higher level of anxiety is if we went towards the we'll clean it up, because then I feel like it
I feel like
could be
if
more
you give somebody
dangerous to
enough
take.
warnings and
That's what
chances,
Sandy
like,
has
this is what's
looked
gonna
at every
happen,
time she
we're
walks
going to
somewhere
come and
else.
take all your stuff.
Right, I just mean like it would need to be like
These are all
so
various
like
properties,
Oh,
so
yeah.
same
near.
property.
No,
Oh, absolutely.
one belongs to
Right
Claire,
on Church Street.
one
Yeah.
belongs to Grace.
So I
I
wonder if,
cannot believe.
School
Anyway.
Street and Church Street.
Well, I think we should, I think I brought this up a couple meetings ago when we were talking about trash, but keep going on this.
Mhm.
Get an ordinance. Something that we can use.
Because right now, we're talking about it and we're doing absolutely nothing about it and it's just growing and growing.
Well, part of it is that this whole trash thing is overseen by the health department, which is overseen by the zoning department, which is
But
a
what
town
do
and
we-
village thing, but it's a town thing.
Yeah, but do we know what's
So-
happening there?
Right, so but if we had strong village ordinances, not health code zoning
Yep.
ordinances,
I agree,
then we'd be able to enforce it better, I think.
I agree.
Just
this
kinda,
isn't
like,
gonna get
throwing this out, like at one point somebody had come wondering about sort of sponsoring a like Casella or somebody coming in at some point so people could more easily dispose of their garbage.
Did Fairfax do that as part of your taxes?
Yeah,
It's, everybody
Fairfax
gets.
pays.
so every
Yeah, it's part of
town
your
Trash,
taxes.
yeah.
pays into Northwest Solid Waste District, and they provide containers. Last I knew when we reached out, they said bring containers.
Right, no,
Because
no,
there's
I'm not
a
talking
container.
about,
I
no,
mean,
so somebody
door to
had
door,
asked us to
Fairfax
have,
has it in, like Fairfax,
it's built in.
it's
There's a
built
bridge
into their
for it.
tax rate, so Casella's stops
Oh,
at
they take
every,
trash here?
every property.
Richford is like that too. No, what I'm
Yeah,
talking, so
Richford's
there's two things. One is some people did ask about a solid waste district station. That was said, they said no, not us, solid waste said no, we have one in Bakersfield. But the other idea was like a
One time.
one time, once a year maybe, take one of the parking lots, have the solid waste bring their stuff and say, here's some spring cleaning. They pay all of their normal fees for it. But if the village kind of helped to organize it so that people wouldn't have to drive to Bakersfield, I mean, honestly,
Those
it's a
people
little.
have to want to clean up though.
Well, yeah, but also,
We-
you
I
know,
think we do it at the town
Bakersfield is
garage,
only
on
Saturday
Green Up
morning.
We always have dumpsters out there, have we not been doing
That isn't that just for green up bags though, not for the bigger stuff. That stuff is it's a little harder to like fill up your car.
Yeah, like one of
and
the things
drive
in
on
here is a
Saturday
refrigerator.
morning. Like so, I
If
mean,
you want to get rid of appliances and scrap steel, you can bring it to Blue Ones. They always have a dumpster.
No,
they got rid of
Yeah,
it.
get rid of it.
Took
You
it
got
out.
rid of it?
Yeah.
It was
Too
being
much junk
misused
in
too
it.
much.
They're
I heard
bunch of
that the
trash.
closest place is the fire department, the old fire department in Richford.
For steel, for scrap steel.
They got a dumpster behind, but that's what I was told.
I mean, we could look into it, I don't want to per se, but we could, I mean, we have a metal dumpster now. Maybe a lot to put on the guys, but you could set up maybe times, 9 o'clock on Tuesdays you can come and we can have Kevin stand there and just monitor it.
And I wouldn't even have to say like it'd have to be frequently, but just like helping remove some of the barriers for some people. Some people would totally take advantage. Though, if
Our other option is to go full like Richford.
Figure out what it would cost.
Put a
and
trash
stickers
chute out the
and-
bid every year, and whoever gets it goes around and picks up every.
I've
piece.
noticed some people don't put their garbage in garbage, like the plastic garbage containers. They just put their bags out.
Because Sylvester does,
And I was wondering about that.
Weatherby's does Richford.
But Casellas does Fairfax, so if you drive by Fairfax, you'll see, like there's even some roads where you drive by the road and there's like 20 Casella,
They provide the bins.
they provide the bins.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
You
but no,
can
I'm saying
get
like some people
Sylvester
don't use
and Weatherby
bins.
bins too, but they're not free, so
Yeah.
that's why people don't.
Okay, because
Use them.
when they don't have bins, those bags are more likely to get torn open.
Well, not if you're smart enough to put them out at the right time.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, we can make it a stipulation in the contract that whoever does it has to provide bins. Like,
And pick up compost.
I just asked
should
Ben
do
how
that.
much his big
You should.
trash container is.
I know that's gonna.
It's $200 a ton
Well, Sylvester's pick up compost.
for like a big roll off.
Some will, yeah.
$200 a ton on top
Oh
of
yeah, we have
rental.
Casella. They don't
No.
pick up our
He
compost.
said
But
$200
But
Sylvester's
there's a
a
state
ton. That's trucking
requirement
and
in
keep taking
compost,
it.
so they should
Really?
pick up our compost and take it, because
Right.
you can't
I
compost
don't know how many
everything in
ton
your
you can put
backyard.
40-yard container, but he said he has 40-yard containers.
So yeah, I don't know. I think we should let's get it on the agenda. I think and continue this discussion.
Yeah.
Because it's been a problem for as long as I've been on the board, which isn't that long ago. But
You are
I'm
like
sick of hearing all the problems.
grandfather in here.
Maybe not a problem anymore.
But it certainly doesn't seem to be going away. It's just exacerbating.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it's cheap and it's easy to just leave it there.
Mhm.
I got a relative in Burlington that works, I believe it's Myers, the red truck.
Myers, Red Can Company.
And now they gone with compost. People are putting their bags out there or whatever, and the rats, the cats, the dogs, they rip the box. They're in, how would I say that? There's so many rats in Burlington. It's just, they're multiplying, and it's ever since they started this composting. It's they say
Well,
it's
they do like that
ridiculous
kind of
the
stuff.
rats they got now.
Yeah.
He says don't go with Northwest Solid Waste. I don't know why, but
Do we have a choice though? Isn't that like a municipality now?
I think
No, you don't.
if we're paying for
Northwest
it,
Solid Waste? I thought that everything all of the people that pick up trash, they all bring it to Northwest Solid Waste.
No, they're very
No.
Casella.
I thought that's like
No.
like an umbrella municipality.
They-
right?
no,
They have to register, like Sylvester's or Weatherby or
They go to Highgate.
They have to register with Northwest
They do
Solid
Casella.
as a hauler, but you don't have to, because we just dropped off a bunch of tires there. As a municipality, we could drop off tires for free, up to so many. So we
I
had,
got a couple for you.
well, we had 42
42 out of the
just out of
garage.
here.
From Green Up Day last
No,
year?
just from the
30
brick
Across
house.
the street.
Oh, geez, from right here.
Yeah.
Oh.
whoa.
They were planning on making a big garden, eventually,
I guess so.
or a very large
You can build
snowman.
houses out of those things.
Yeah.
Pound them full of sand.
There's one in Johnson.
Yeah, Earthship or something. Like
I want one,
that.
they're cool.
You take tires and you pound sand into them and stack them. And
Yeah, we
It's
put
a thing.
people in there. They do it's like a bunker. They build
Yeah.
it into the hillside, and then they build the house off.
Their energy,
Right.
their green
Yeah,
houses.
supposedly
yeah.
it's like 65 degrees in there all year.
Huh.
I don't know if it's
I
true.
have that or a yurt. Just saying.
I wonder if you always smell like an old tire.
That's what I wonder. I wouldn't be able to
You'll
handle
like
this.
Ew, what is that?
just
All right.
Don't brush up against the walls because they'll turn you black.
Any other business? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
That's fast. You know the first, Sandy with the second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Please just go through and sign these. That's the Church Street. This is Elm Street.